The ego and the reflected consciousness, because they are identified, they become virtually identical. The ego becomes conscious. In Vedanta, we say the witness consciousness is reflected in the subtle body. The witness consciousness is reflected in the subtle body. Let's try to understand this. When I say the ultimate seer is consciousness, immediately what we think is, yeah, I get it. I am conscious right now. I am aware. I am sentient. We all are. Right now we feel consciousness within ourselves. So is that the witness self? Is that Atman? Is that Brahman? Is that the ultimate reality which Vedanta speaks about? That consciousness which we all feel right now, that we are conscious beings? Vedanta says, actually not so. The consciousness that we feel right now, this awareness in the mind which we feel now, is a reflection of the witness consciousness, is a reflection of the real, the pure consciousness. The pure consciousness, we don't have a notion about it now. What we have right now is this reflected consciousness. The word used in Sanskrit is chit chaya. Literally it means the shadow or reflection of consciousness. Chit, consciousness, chaya, reflection or shadow. It's a bit like this. At night, we don't see the sun. We don't see sunlight, but in one sense we do, because it's the sunlight reflected from the moon which illumines the world. When you see the world shining in moonlight, basically what's happening is that the sun shines on the moon and the moon reflects that sunlight to earth, and with that reflected light we see the world at night. This is exactly what is happening. Pure consciousness, we don't seem to understand what is meant by that. We understand what the world is. We understand what the body is. We understand what the mind is. We even understand what is meant by consciousness in the mind. So far, so good. But what is this pure consciousness they're talking about? Just like the sun at night, it's not visible, but its effects are visible. Because of that consciousness, because of that pure consciousness, the Atman, our minds are lit up. If we look inside, we feel, we are aware, we are thinking, we are feeling, we are trying to understand. We see, we hear. Our minds are lit up. Just like the moon is lit up, not by its own light. We say moonlight, but moon doesn't have even a little bit of light. It's by the light of the unseen sun at night that the moon is lit up. And by that moonlight, we experience the world. In the same way, it is by the light of the Atman, of pure consciousness, the witness. I use these words synonymously. The witness, Sakshi, Atman, self, Brahman. Now, exactly like that, the mind has the capacity, being very fine, mind has the capacity to reflect consciousness and then use that consciousness. For what? For exactly this, for seeing, for hearing, for smelling, tasting, touching, for thinking, for all our conscious experiences. Right now, we are sitting and listening. If I ask you, are you aware? You ask yourself, am I aware? And the answer will come from inside. Yes, I'm aware. It could be I'm aware of the Swami speaking, if you're paying attention. It could be I'm aware of how long is this going to last, if you're not paying so much attention. It could be that I'm aware of my dream, if you're completely out of it and sleeping. If you're dropping off to sleep, you are in your dream world, but you are aware. That awareness is what is called reflected consciousness or reflected awareness. It's like, it's not the real awareness, it's not the real you. The reflected consciousness all the time. In the mind, the reflected consciousness is there. The reflected consciousness and the I, they become one. How do they become one? Just like when I look in a mirror, there's a reflected face in the mirror. When I look in a mirror, there's a reflected face in the mirror, and the reflected face and the mirror are one. They become identified. You cannot separate them. Whenever there is a mirror, there will be a reflection. So the reflection and the mirror are one. The reflection here is the reflected consciousness. Your face is the original consciousness, the witness consciousness. And the mirror is the I sense. Mirror is the I sense, ahankara. The ahankara, the I sense, ego, and the reflected consciousness are one, like the reflection and a mirror. They become one. Because of the identification with the ego. Identification of ego and what? Don't get confused. Ego and the reflected consciousness. The ego and the reflected consciousness, because they are identified, they become virtually identical. The ego becomes conscious. Just look inward. Let's look inside and we feel I. And it feels like the most conscious thing we have. The most conscious thing we experience is my I-ness. When you think right now, I, don't you feel I am aware? All the time you feel. The moment you think I, it's an aware I. It's a conscious I. This reflected consciousness identified with the ego. What we think we are, we don't think we are the witness consciousness. We think we are the ego. This ego shining in the light of reflected consciousness, this is the villain. We think we are that. Here I am, I use the word I for myself. So these are the three things with which I am identified. The ego, the I, is identified with the body, with the reflected consciousness in the mind, and with the pure consciousness, witness consciousness, the sakshi. Now comes the crucial question, the real crucial question. What is my relationship, the I feeling, bear down here, concentrate here. The I feeling which we have right now, what is its relationship to the witness consciousness? That is the question. What is its relationship to Brahman, to Atman, to existence, consciousness, bliss? All the same thing. Witness consciousness, Brahman, Atman, Satchidananda, all the same thing. What is the relationship of Brahman, Satchidananda, Atma, Sakshi, witness consciousness, pure consciousness, whatever you call it, with the I feeling which I've got right now? And the answer is no relationship. There is no relationship. Bhranti janyam, it is born of error. We, the pure consciousness, we feel I in this body, it's born of error. I am really not I. Yes. You see, we chant it lovingly. Mano buddhya hankara chittani naham. Do you know what it translates into? I am not the mind, manas, buddhi. I am not the intellect, chitta. I am not the memory, ahankara. Mano buddhya hankara chittani naham. Ahankara. Ego. It literally translates as I am not the ego or I am not the I. The witness consciousness which you or I really are, we are the witness of the I. The moment you think I, it's an aware I. It's a conscious I. The most conscious thing we experience is my I-ness. The ego and the reflected consciousness, because they are identified, they become virtually identical. The ego becomes conscious. The mirror is the mind, and the face you see in the mirror is the consciousness already involved in the mind. But the original face, which is being reflected, that's original consciousness. Because if we get a sense of that, we'll see how tremendously distinct it is from everything else. It is not an object. The awareness which we feel right now, which you call Chetana, that awareness which we feel right now, that's also an object. Okay. You feel it. But what feels that awareness? The witness consciousness which you or I really are, we are the witness of the I. You have to take one step back from the I, the ego. Take a step back from the I to merge into your real existence, consciousness, bliss.